Hi everyone. Firstly, I would like to give you a brief introduction about our project Traffic Bot. Traffic congestion has always been a major problem of many populated city, and number of vehicles are increasing day by day, due to which it becomes more difficult for the city to manage the traffic. So our project is about solving the problem of congestion at the junctions by changing the static time intervals of the traffic signal to dynamic and adaptive traffic signals. Teamwork compiles the ideas of several people, and due to efforts given by our team members and especially our guide Professor Bintu Kadiwala, enabled us to accomplish tasks faster and more efficiently. The motivation behind our project is people lose a lot of time in traffic jams all over the world, which in turn results in loss of billions of dollars worldwide. This motivated to take this project. Our project is divided into following 5 modules. The first module is vehicle density estimation. This module takes traffic image or video as an input and classifies the objects into cars, buses, trucks, and motorcycles. The output of this module will also give count of vehicles per each frame. The second module is emergency service vehicle detection, which focuses on the detection of ambulance and fire truck. The third module is embedded control line simulator, which acts as a medium between the Android app and the signal, and all the computations are done on the server, that is a Google Cloud platform. The fourth module is Android application, which can be used to switch from manual mode to automatic mode and vice versa based on the necessity. And the last module is website, which is an administrative module that can assign a junction to a specific user and allow them to operate a junction in static or dynamic mode based on necessity. On the left is the input image to the module 1, that is vehicle density estimation, and on the right is the output that we obtained. This is the other example of input image and output image. Semester 7, we had implemented the module 1 on images only, and in current semester, we implemented the module 1 on videos that gives frame-wise vehicle count. This is the output video and input video. This is the frame-wise output.
In this module, the YOLO before tiny model is trained on Darknet framework for two classes, that is ambulance and fire truck. And what it will do is it will detect this two ambulance and fire truck on the junction, and it will give them priority access for that particular lane. After training our YOLO before tiny model, we got the accuracy of 90.6% on testing dataset. And as you can see, these are the outputs we have obtained. Some of the images are taken in the real time, and some of the images we have taken from the internet and run it on our model, and these are the outputs that we are obtaining. In some images, you can see that two boundary boxes are formed and the images are overlapping. But the important part is that the ambulance or the fire truck vehicle is detected. But still, we wanted to improve our model, so we augmented the dataset, and afterwards, we got the accuracy of 95.4%. The training and loss graphs for different split ratios are found as follows. Now, moving on to the steps of data augmentation. We perform the following steps. First is rotation, that is plus 30 to minus 30 randomized rotation. Second is shear, that is plus 15 to minus 15 horizontal and vertical, both randomized shear. We also perform steps like saturation, exposure, blur, and noise augmentation to our dataset. Now, blur is really important for our model because it helps it to identify the objects which are in the moving form. And on the other hand, noise is also really important because it removes the overfitting that might be in the model because of the similar images that are being trained in the model. After augmenting the dataset on the steps I mentioned below, we are getting the output as follows. On the left side, you can see the original image, and on the right side, you can see the augmented image. Same goes with all the images. You can see that here there is a vertical and horizontal shear. At the same time, you can see some noise and blur applied on it. Such randomized effects are added to all the image to make the data more complex. Instead of training the whole model again, we use the concept of transfer learning, in which the weights were initialized to the previously obtained weights. After training our model on augmented dataset, we tested our model on some images and compared them with the previous model. So on the left hand side, you can see that this is the output of the previous model, and this is the output of the model performed after the augmentation. So in this image, you can see that there is actually no ambulance or fire truck. So this is the correct output. While in the previous model, fire truck and ambulance both are detected with over 64 to 75% confidence. Now here in the next output also you can see that there is no emergency vehicle, not a ambulance and not even a fire truck. But here ambulances are detected, 3 ambulances detected in the previous model. So we can clearly differentiate our model and the previous model. Now in this image, as I mentioned this image earlier, the boundary boxes are overlapping with a confidence of over 90%. So to overcome this, in the model obtained right now, we can see that only one boundary box is found with a confidence of 91%. Now in this image, you can see that on the left hand side, two boundary boxes are found, one of ambulance that is correct and another of ambulance that is incorrect. So in our model, after the accuracy that we have obtained of 95%, we can see that it is predicting correctly and no another boundary box is formed. And this boundary box is also of 89% confidence. This image is very complex, and here you can see that on the left hand side in the previous model, multiple ambulances are obtained. Like 5 ambulances are obtained here, but actually there is only one ambulance. So this is a clear cut example that this model is working just fine. Here are some of the outputs which are obtained. Now this is very interesting because I've tried it on complex images to see the correctness of our model. Now in this image you can see that there is a lot of noise and shear, and though these fire trucks are not visible to the naked eye, they are still detected in this model. And in this image also you can see that there are two buses which look alike like the fire truck, but they are not detected still. And also there is a lot of unwanted particles, but still they are not detected as ambulance or fire truck vehicles. Same goes for this output. There are many cars, but only the two ambulances are detected here. And this is also great output obtained. Here there are minimum 5 to 6 fire trucks and almost 5 fire trucks are detected here. As we've also implemented this on video, here are some of the outputs on the video. This is a real-time image from Adajan. This is from the Star Bazaar bridge that is in Surat, and here you can see that the ambulance is detected. Same goes with this. In here the fire truck is detected with almost 90 to 100% confidence. And here also the ambulance is detected. Now I'd like to show you some other videos. This is also a real-time video from Adajan which Siddhant took last week. Here the fire truck is detected, and also here we can see that the ambulance is detected correctly. Now this is a very interesting video because in here there is fire truck and ambulance both. So here we can clearly see that the fire truck is detected and at the same time ambulance is detected. The training and loss graph is formed as follows. Here you can see that the training chart is starting from 87% of accuracy because we use the concept of transfer learning. So we can see that the accuracy of the previously trained weights was 87% at the end, and it is going up to 95%. And after training the model, we evaluated our model on the testing data set and we got the testing accuracy of 95.4%. So finally, our testing accuracy before augmentation was 90.61%, and after augmentation, it increased to 95.4%. Okay, so moving on to the next module, which is module number 3, embedded controller slash simulator. During the initial phases of the project development, we used Proteus software to simulate a real traffic signal on a four-way junction. We tried to control it using an Android app to give the signal manual timings. Later in the project, we replaced the simulator with the hardware, that is Raspberry Pi 4B with 4 GB RAM. We deployed the machine learning module on the microcontroller, and here are some of the output that we've got. On the left side, you can see the input image, and on the right side, you can see the output image. Here, you can see the number of cars and number of trucks that have been detected in the image. Here are some more. Here is a video. On the left side, it is the input video. On the right side, it is the output video that we've got. But the Raspberry Pi couldn't keep up with the processing need of our project, so we switched to Google Cloud Platform and created a virtual machine instance, which now serves as a server for our project and does the image processing as needed and gives the output. Okay, so getting into the implementation part on the server side, I am currently inside Raspberry Pi, and the input image which has been captured by the Raspberry Pi is stored inside this folder called OB, and here's the input image. And currently you can see that this folder is empty and it does not contain anything except the input image. Okay, so we are inside the Google Cloud virtual machine after SSHing into it, and as you can see that this is the interface for the Google Cloud virtual machine. And so we will now be running the script so that the server can fetch the image from the Raspberry Pi, process the image locally, and generate the vehicle count and green timings for the signal. So as you can see here that we have got the total vehicle count as 25, so the number of cars are 23 and the truck is the number of trucks are 2. And again it has sent all this information to Raspberry Pi along with the processed image. So we will move on to the Raspberry Pi interface. So again we are inside the Raspberry Pi to check whether the information that we had generated on the Google Cloud has reached the Raspberry Pi or not. And as you can see here that in the OP folder we can see the image, the processed image. This is the processed image, and inside this file count.txt we can see the total vehicle count and the green timing which has been allocated for 48 seconds. Here you can see the formula that we've used for the calculation of the green time.
So I would now demonstrate the Android app. So we have divided the users into three types. First, traffic police user. Second, admin user. Third, not approved user. So we will be starting off by seeing all the functionalities that are available to the Android admin user. So this is the home screen for the admin user, in which the admin can see to which user which junction is assigned. For example, umangs.leo@gmail.com is assigned junction J0001. Now moving on to the different functionalities of the admin user, we have the approve user. Now approve user functionality will be used to approve non-approved user. So for example, badoliapriyank@gmail.com will now be approved after I press the approve user button. Now badoliapriyank@gmail.com is approved and we cannot see his email ID in this drop down menu. Now moving on to the remove user, here this functionality will be used to disapprove approved user. So since we approved Priyank Badolia@gmail.com in the previous activity, we will now be disapproving him to see this functionality. Now when I press the remove user button, he will be disapproved and his email ID will be removed from this drop down menu. The important thing to notice here is that all the junctions that are assigned to the user will be deleted when we disapprove or remove a user. So now we move on to the add junction functionality. In this, we have to enter 4-digit junction code and that junction's address. After I press the add button, the junction code along with the address will be stored in our database. Now we will discuss the assign junction functionality. So here we have to first select user's email address and then a junction. After I press the assign button, the user will be able to set timing of the selected junction. Now if I try assigning this email ID a junction which is already assigned to another user, it will notify me about the same and will ask me if I want to proceed with the assignment or not. If I press yes, it will continue with the assignment. If I press no, nothing will be updated. Now we will discuss the remove assign functionality. In this, we will first select an email address, then all the junctions that are assigned to that email address will appear in this drop-down list. Now if we select any junction and press the deassign button, then that junction will be deassigned from the email address and we won't see that junction in the drop-down menu. So now make admin functionality. In this, all the users that are currently not admin and are approved will appear in this drop-down menu. Now when I press make admin button, badoliapriyank@gmail.com is made admin and he will be able to access all the functionalities of the admin. We can see that his email ID is removed from this drop-down list. Now we will try to remove him from the admin position. Now here in this drop-down list, all the users that are approved and are admin will appear in this drop-down list. I will now make Priyank Badolia not admin. So when I press the remove admin button, you can see that badoliapriyank@gmail.com is removed admin and we cannot see his email ID in the drop-down list. So view timing. In this, all the junctions that are currently assigned any timing will appear in this drop-down list. On selecting any one junction, we can see the details of the timing as well as who assigned this junction the current timing. So this junction was assigned timing by vishalmistry499@gmail.com. The mode is static and the green delay is 10 seconds. Similarly, the 0003 junction was assigned the timing by vishalmistry499@gmail.com. The mode is dynamic and these are the three timings. So now we will be seeing the traffic police user functionality. Now I press the login button. Now this is the home screen for the traffic police user. Here all the junctions that are assigned to the current user will be displayed. Furthermore, if I just select Anurag Dwar, the user will be able to see at which position the junction is currently present and we can also get the directions to it. So coming back to the traffic police user's home page, we have another functionality that is the set timing functionality, which is used to set the timing of the junctions that are assigned to the user. So I press this. Now all the junctions that are assigned to the user will appear in this drop down list. I will select one of them. The address of the same junction will be displayed. Now the user will have to select a mode. So he can either select static, for which he has to enter green delay, or he can select dynamic, for which he has to set heavy traffic delay, medium traffic delay, and light traffic delay. On clicking the set timing button, this signal will be assigned these all three values and it will be stored in the data.
So let's now move to the website module. So basically, it is an administrative module. So it allows the admin to manage its users as well as the traffic junctions. So this is our index page, few services that we provide, and the user can contact us. And without any delay, let's try to log in. So user has to put in an email address. Okay, so it's the wrong password. Okay. As soon as we log in, we are taken to the administrative page. So this is admin page. So these are the features that the admin can use. So I can add junction, assign junction to some users, deassign them, approve or disapprove some specific user, or maybe add or remove an admin. So let's start with the add junction. So we can add junction from here. Let's say 10. Okay, 1007, and you can say Maroli. If we add it from here, the data goes to our Firebase console, and here it is reflected on the spot. So then we can say it. Then we can add assign junction to some specific user. So let's say I want to assign Vishal the newly created junction. Okay, assign. And this is where you can see the changes, the assigned positions. We can deassign them. Okay, deassign. Yeah, and it is gone. So we can approve or disapprove user. So these are the list of users that we are having right now. Let's take one user and then we can approve them again if you want. Yeah. So, or yeah, we can add admin as well as remove admin. So the user, those who are admin, they can manage this page and use these functionalities. And we can also remove admin from here. This is it. So this was all about our website. This is a simple website that is used to manage the users and manage the traffic signals.
Next, moving on to the advantages of the project. Here are some of the limitations of the project. And for the extension of future work, we are planning to link multiple signal junctions together to determine the flow of traffic, and hence we can have an efficient traffic management that will reduce the time to travel. Thank you.